Alright, I have Caleb and Lewis in this group, and you guys need to be ready to write. So make sure you have your handy dandy marker or pencil or whatever you're choosing to write with. And you need to stop the video anytime I go too fast, back it up, and redo it. You are group 3 students, so let's get started. When I write, you write. Let's do this. See you in just a second. So you'll be getting something that looks very similar to this on your next worksheet. So you'll be doing 4-digit addition and subtraction. So this is critical. You need to show your carries and your borrows, because if you don't, you're going to mess something up. I absolutely guarantee you, particularly when you have the double borrows. All right, let's take a look at what we need to do here. All right, so let's start with our addition problem. Please write down this problem. Alright, so we have our problem, and we always start from left to right. So we go from right to left, top to bottom. So that's how we're going to run this game. So we start with our ones place, and we're going to work it from top to bottom. So we're going to say 2 plus 9 is going to be 11. So 11, but I have a problem. I can't write it like that because 7 plus 4 is not 1. So I have to take this 1 and carry it above. Okay? I have to carry it. So now, I have to add everything in this column. So I have 1 plus 7 is 8. 8 plus 4 more is going to be 12. Okay? And that 12 can't be written like that. I have to take this one group of 100 and carry it above. Okay? So now I'm going to add from everything in this column. 1 plus 3 is 4, plus 6 more is 10. Okay? So I have 10, but I can't write 10 like that because 4 plus 1 is not one group of four groups of 1,000 plus one more group of 1,000 is 5,000, or 5 groups of 1,000, not one. So now I have to carry this and put it above, and now I add everything in this column, and that will become 6. 4 plus 2 more becomes 6. All right, so make sure you show me these carries. Crucial. You will be wrong every single time if you don't do it. Let's do one more problem. All right. I'm gonna just do the carries so I am starting with 4 plus 9. That's going to be 13, so I put the 3 down here, carry the one group up. Okay, so now I'm going to add everything in this column. So that's really 8 plus 8, that's going to be 16, so that'll be 16, carry that 1 up there, because 1 plus 6 is, 10 plus 6 is 16. Okay, so then I'm going to add everything in this column. And I have 7 plus 3 is 10, plus 1 more is 11. And now I'm going to add everything in this column. Okay, so then I have 9 plus 1 is 10, plus 1 more is 11. So I carry that there, bring it down, so 11. So this number then is 11,163. All right, so now we're going to work in subtraction. So let's take a look at that. Okay, so now we're moving into subtraction, and this is where you will get completely and utterly lost if you do not show your work. I'm talking to you, Lewis. You need to show your borrows, because several of these problems will have double borrows, and you will forget what you're doing, and you will subtract wrong if you do not show me your borrows. Let's get this done. Get that pencil out. Get writing. because the only way you will learn is if you see it, hear it, do it. That's the only way we learn. We are not just one way. We have to have many different ways to learn it. Seeing, hearing, saying, doing, all of it. All right. We start from top to bottom. And we start on the right and move left. So top to bottom, we're starting there. 2 minus 7. Well, if I have 2, I cannot take 7 away from it. Cannot do that. So I'm going to borrow from the 10s. And if I only have one group of 10 and I take it, that leaves me nothing there. And I take that one group of 10 and I move it next to the 2, it becomes 12 because 10 plus 2 is 12. So now I have 12 minus 7. So 12 minus 7 is going to be 5 as far as I know. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 5. All right. That one's figured out. Now I'm moving on to this column, and I gotta subtract it. Well, I have nothing. Nothing. And I have to take 4 away. I have nothing in my hand. Nothing. I can't give you 4. I can't give you 4 $10 bills. So then I have to go next door, and I look at this guy. And there's nothing there either. It's empty. Nothing. So then I have to move over and go to the 6. Well, there is something there I can borrow. I have 6 thousands, 6 groups of 1,000. So I'm going to borrow 1 because really 6 is going to be 5 plus 1. So I'm going to borrow this 1 right here and put it next to the 0, making 10. Okay? Because 5 plus 1 is really 6. So that becomes 5. And this becomes a 10. Ah, so now that it's a 10, I have something, because I have 10 100s. 10 100s is really 1,000. So, because if you don't believe me, you have 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, 1,000. So 10 groups of 100 are 1,000. So now I have something to borrow. I'm going to borrow because 9 plus 1 is really 10. So this turns into a 9. And the 9 plus the 1, I have 9. I have 9 plus that 1. That 1, I'm going to, because that's really 9 plus 1, and I'm going to take that 1 that makes 10 over here, and I'm going to put it next to the 0, okay? So now I have 10, and I'm going to take 4 away, and that'll leave me 6. 9, and I'm going to take away 8, and that'll leave me 1. 5, and I'm going to take away 1, and that'll leave me 4. And that's 4,165. Remember, these borrows will get you in trouble a ton if you don't do them right. Let's do another one. Please write this down. These are hard. Alright, so I'm starting here. 2 minus 7. Cannot do it. So I'm going to look. Oh, there's nothing to borrow there. It's empty. I can borrow that 1 though. And it'll become a 0. And I'll put that 1 next to the 0 and it becomes a 10. So I now have 10 and I need to borrow against it. So 10 minus 1 becomes a 9 and I put that 1 that I borrowed from the 9, because it was 9 plus 1, put it next to the 2, and it becomes a 12. 12 minus 7, that becomes 5. 9 minus 4, that becomes 5. 0 minus 3, oh, can't do it. Borrow, that becomes 6, and that becomes 10. Because I put 6 plus 1 is 7, so I take that one group of 1,000 and shove it next to the 0, making 10 groups of 100, because 10 groups of 100 is 1,000. So I have 10 groups of 100 minus 3 is 7, and then 5. There's my answer. This is called a double borrow right there, because I didn't have enough, so I had to borrow to borrow. Double borrow. questions, concerns, Lewis, if you don't show these double borrows, you are going to be in a lot of mathematical problems because your answer will be wrong, 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 all day wrong. All right, I will see you later. Bye-bye.